We're getting close to spring, so we're starting tomatoes indoors. That's coming up today on the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener. The Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener is sponsored in part by, for all your non-GMO, heirloom, organic, vegetable, flowers, and herb seeds, visit dollarseed.com. Sioux Growing Supply, located in Wausau, Wisconsin, focusing on certified leaf compost, an excellent amendment for poor soil, retains moisture and adds nutrients, which equals less watering. Available in Sioux organic seed starting kits, pre-filled trays and pots, bag and bulk. Visit SiouxCompost.com. Organic fertilizer for the health-conscious organic home gardener. Family owned and operated. Visit wgardens.com. Don't poison your soil with municipal water. Attach a body, mind, and soil hose and filter. Free shipping exclusively through the WisconsinVegetableGardener.com. Just click on the body, mind, and soil icon. Authentic Haven brand soil conditioner for the home gardener. Easy to brew, 100% organic. Visit ManureTea.com. Welcome to the Wisconsin Vegetable Gardener. I'm Joy Barrett. Well, you want to start your tomatoes indoors 6 to 8 weeks before your last average frost date. To find out your last average frost date, you can go to your favorite search engine and type in zip code, whatever that might be, last average frost date, and that'll give you the last 10 years of recorded data for your particular area. That's an average. Last frost can go longer than what the average is. Nevertheless, 6 to 8 weeks for your last average frost date, you can start tomatoes indoors. Now, we have got 10, 20, 22, 20, 25 different varieties that we're starting indoors. Now, that seems like a lot, and it is. So we're going to do it in two different steps here. We're initially going to start them in these red solo cups, blue solo cups. We do have some already started here. These are some Ace 55s. These were started 2 weeks ago. Once these establish their true leaves, then we will move them over into the root maker. We have some chocolate peppers in there. We'll move it into the root maker, and this root maker helps develop the roots so they're not root bound in the cups or in your traditional trays. It allows the roots to air prune, and if you want to know more about that, there'll be a link in the show notes for that. Now, so what we're going to do here, we've got 25 different varieties we're planting. The goal is to plant 5 seeds of each variety. That way we can take 3 of the best and transplant them over to the root maker. Last year we did it a little over the top. We put 10 seeds of each variety, which meant last year we did it, which we had 10 seeds per variety, which meant we had 250 tomato plants, 10 in each cup. Then we had to, if they had 10 good ones, we took all 10 and planted them out into trays. So we had a lot of tomatoes that didn't make it to the garden. So we're going to maximize the space we have indoors and utilize the knowledge that we've gathered that we don't need to have 10 seeds from each plant. We need to start 5, get 3 of the best. So if you want to know what we're growing here, we've got, again, 25. You can go to our website, thewistconsinvegetablegardener.com, and at the top of the page there's a tab that says tomatoes. You can hit that. That'll drop down that'll open a tab up, and that'll be all the tomato varieties that we are growing, in addition to days to maturity and whether they are a hybrid, organic, or heirloom variety. So that's a list that you can go ahead and find. If you want that to be easier accessible to you, we put a link in the show notes below, so you can just click on it, go right over there, and you can see all the varieties, and maybe some of them that you're growing, you can gather a little more information in regards to them. So we're going to start with, let's just start with these here. This is tomato Brandywine yellow. Now I've got 3 different varieties of Brandywines, pink, black, and yellow here. So we're going to take 5 seeds, and we're just going to take and plant them in this would be our blue plastic cup. And as you've seen in previous episodes, If I said 5 seeds, I'd throw 10 in there just for the fun of it. As you can see by some of these sprouts in the back, some of the seedlings, we're going to stick to 5 here because we know that once they get established, we're going to be out of room very, very quickly. So we're going to take, it's 3, it's 6, so I need to get rid of, no, it's 5 there. Okay, there's 5 there. Now with this, since we're going to replant these, we're going to pull these out of these solo cups in about 3 weeks and move them to the root makers. This is a 2 weeks right here. So in another week, I'll be extracting these and moving them over to the root maker. Now, with being in the cups, I'm going to just sprinkle them around the best I can so they can get established. Now, you can cover those with, you can find a lot of videos online that you just take a little potting soil, which we're using Sue's professional potting soil, and a little bit of Sue's certified leaf compost. We're intermixing the 50-50 ratio on these cups. You can do it just like I did. Throw a little soil on the top. We'll water in with some muputi. Be done with it in about 7 days, 5 to 7 days. They will start to germinate. Or you can go the route which you can take perlite or vermiculite, which essentially it is ground up lava rock. It's very light, loose, fluffy, and you can cover the top of your seedlings with that. It's your choice. What the mindset is when using the vermiculite on top of the seeds are, vermiculite is very loose and fluffy. It's the essential, like styrofoam. Don't use styrofoam. It has the same principles or the same density as styrofoam. So what you're allowing your plants to do, whether this is peppers, tomatoes, we've done this in the past, it's to allow the plants to get hydrated from the soil and the moisture, and then are able to penetrate through the vermiculite, perlite very easily, and then start gathering the light from your grow lights or your windowsill. You can do that. It's just another expense that you don't have to go through. We've experimented with it, as well as just putting soil on top of the plants, and it's the same either way. We don't see a difference. So it's personal preference. Next thing you want to do, you want to make sure you've labeled all of your tomato plants, and you don't have to start 25 varieties. We recommend that if you're going to start, let's say 3 varieties, and you want 2 plants of each variety, start 6 plants of each variety, so you have, it's in threes. It's for example, if you're going to have 3 plants, they always say you want to put 1 plant for you, 1 plant for the weather, and 1 plant for the bugs. So that's something that's the old gardeners or old farmers would say that. So that may be something you want to consider looking at doing in multiples of 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go through and plant all of these, 5 seeds per cup, and then we will top dress them and water them in, and we'll get going on that. All right, so I got them all planted, 5 per cup, and now I top dressed them with the Sioux professional potting soil. I'm going to water them in with Moo tea that we had brewing. We always have a couple of gallons brewing with the tea bags. Adjust my mister here. So these will take 5 to 7 days to germinate. And make sure they're highly hydrated, properly hydrated. If you want to know more about tomatoes, Holly and I produced one of our quarterly digital magazines last year. It's all about tomatoes, from the determinate to indeterminate, to talking about if you buy grafted tomatoes, what you should look for and what you need to be aware of, and a lot of other things about proper maintenance of growing tomatoes. That's on the website underneath the digital magazine tab, as well as we'll put a link in the show notes below. So you can, it's downloadable. You can also read it online for free, and it'll give you a lot of information on proper tomato maintenance and how to grow them and when to harvest them and the whole thing, everything you need to know about tomatoes. So I'm going to get these watered in. Now you can put these, just like any of the seeds starts that we have done, you can go ahead and put these by a windowsill, and as these emerge, they'll start going towards the windowsill. And then you want to rotate your tray every day so they keep growing towards the windowsill. Tomatoes are one of the more forgiving ones, and you can plant them deeper because they're part of the nightshade family, and we'll talk about that. And that's also in the magazine as well. But we're going to put these under the grow lights, and then in about 3 weeks, 1 more week for these guys here, we'll transplant over in the root maker to get better established air-prune roots, because the key to a good plant is its roots, and without good roots you don't have a very good plant and you have a piddly harvest. So that's how we're going to plant our tomatoes. That's how we're going to get started. Thanks for joining us. Join us next time for more organic gardening, food preserving, possibly seed starting. I'm Joy Barrett, and this has been the Wisconsin.
For more information, please visit thewIsconsinVegetableGardener.com.